Hi everyone, today we are diving into one of the most incredible trekking experiences in India, the Nongriya trek in Meghalaya. If you're ready for an adventure full of stunning landscapes and fascinating history, stay tuned. To get started, you'll have to first reach Cherrapunji. While Umroi Airport in Shillong is the closest airport to Cherrapunji, it is not connected to all of the major cities. So, if you wish to travel by air, you have to first take a flight to Guwahati Airport, which is the second nearest airport and is located about 180 kilometers away from Cherrapunji. If you're taking a train, reach the Guwahati railway station and then you can hire a taxi or board a bus to reach Cherrapunji. While Cherrapunji weather stays pleasant throughout the year, the town witnesses rainfall for majority of the days and months. The best time for planning your trip to Cherrapunji is between the months of October and May because it experiences relatively lesser rainfall and cooler temperature. In our case, we were a group of five, so we took a flight to Guwahati and we booked a Zoom car at the Guwahati airport, which we used to travel to all cities in Meghalaya, including Shillong, Cherrapunji, and we dropped off the car after our trip at the airport. We rented a Maruti Swift, and after all discounts, it came out to be about 2000 rupees per day. And for total 5 days, we spent 10,000 for five people. Once you are in Chirapunji, head to the village of Tairna. This is the starting point of Nongriya trek. Make sure to arrange your trek permits and pay an entry fee, which is 50 rupees per person. If you're traveling by car and you need parking, you'll have to pay an additional 60 rupees for parking. Now let's talk about the gear. The weather here can be quite unpredictable, so a good raincoat is a must. So it was raining throughout our trek. Sometimes it was moderate rainfall, sometimes it was heavy rainfall. So I wouldn't advise coming here without a raincoat or an umbrella. Umbrella is not very advisable. Raincoat will be better in these kind of situations. It will protect you from sudden showers, and don't forget to carry a sturdy trekking stick. It will help you navigate the steep and sometimes slippery paths. As you trek, you'll be mesmerized by the lush green landscapes, many cascading waterfalls, and the unique living road bridges, of course. You also have to cross a couple of metal bridges before you reach the actual living road bridge. And not many people can walk through the metal structures at the same time. So you will have to wait for your turn, and after a group of people have reached, you can ascend onto the bridge and start walking. Honestly, the trail is not an easy one. One essentially starts at near the top of the hill, we go down, and then we have to go up another hill before finally reaching the Nongret village. The complete trail is about 3,500 steps, but it feels like more than 3,500 steps because of the fact that how steep the whole path is. Finally, after 1.5 hours of slippery and steep trails, we have reached the double decker living road bridge. The living road bridges are a testament to the ingenuity and patience of Khasi people. These bridges can last for centuries and become even stronger over time. The Nongret trek will take you through several of these bridges, including the famous double decker root bridge. The double decker root bridge is truly a marvel. You'll see a network of two intertwined bridges that offer stunning views of the surrounding forest. It is definitely the highlight of the trek. These bridges also carry major significance to the farmers and villages of the region. This is because it enables them to get to their respective plantations, homes, or areas where they need to deliver products. The bridge also carries a big cultural significance. This is so as the entire community must collaborate to design, manage, and maintain each bridge. They also take more than one generation to work on them. This is done so that the bridges can also be used by future generations of the people who are presently gently tending to younger bridges. After the double decker bridge, you can also proceed towards Rainbow Waterfalls, which is only some 30 minutes away. But we did not have enough time and we decided to go back to our trek starting point. And that was another 3,500 steps that we had to take up. We personally felt that the trek upwards was even more challenging than the trek downwards, and it took us more than 2 hours to reach the starting point. You might already know that the sun sets early around 4 pm in northeast, so make sure you reach up before it's too dark. So that marks the end of our Nongir trek. It sure is a challenging one, but we highly recommend it. It is also fun when done in groups. So if you've enjoyed this video, do drop a like, comment, and share it with your friends and family who are planning to visit Meghalaya. Bye.